The shadow of the Empire, the vast expanse of the Milky Way, where stars burned like eternal fires and nebulae painted the void with ethereal colors, the Zorathian Empire held unchallenged dominion. For millennia, they had expanded their reach, conquering world after world with fleets of colossal warships that blotted out the suns. Their technology was unparalleled: quantum shields that could deflect asteroid fields, neural networks that predicted rebellions before they sparked, and bioengineered legions of warriors who knew no fear. The Zorathians themselves were a race of towering beings. Their skin, a shimmering, iridescent blue, eyes glowing with the cold light of supremacy. They believed in the divine right of the strong, and under their rule, lesser species toiled in mines. Farms and factories, their cultures erased, their histories rewritten to glorify the Empire. At the heart of this tyranny sat Emperor Vexor, a colossal figure enthroned on Zoroth Prime, a planet fortress orbiting a binary star system. Vexor's decrees echoed across the galaxy via hyperrelays, enforcing obedience with the threat of orbital bombardments or worse-mind reavers, psychic enforcers who could strip a being's will in seconds. The Empire's motto, etched into every conquered monument, was simple: submit or perish. And for eons the galaxy submitted, but submission bred resentment. Whispers of rebellion flickered in the shadows of slave worlds. The Felari, a feline-like species with agile minds and bodies, plotted in hidden dens. The hulking Grontar, stone-skinned laborers, shared tales of ancient freedoms around dim campfires. Even the ethereal Luminari, beings of pure energy, dimmed their glow in quiet defiance. Yet no uprising had ever succeeded. The Empire's surveillance was omnipotent, its reprisals swift and merciless. It was into this oppressive cosmos that the human ship arrived. The USS Defiance, a relic from Earth's long-forgotten expansion era, had been adrift in cryosleep for centuries. Captain Elena Reyes, a descendant of old Earth pioneers, awoke to alarms blaring across the bridge. Her crew, a ragtag mix of engineers, scientists, and soldiers, 50 souls in total, stirred from their pods, disoriented but alive. The Defiance was no warship. It was an exploratory vessel, armed with basic railguns and lasers meant for asteroids, not empires. Its hull bore the scars of wormhole travel, and its AI Orion hummed with outdated protocols. "What the hell happened?" Reyes muttered, rubbing her temples as holographic displays flickered to life. The ship had been pulled through an anomaly, spat out into unfamiliar space. Scans revealed a galaxy teeming with life-alien life. Cities sprawled across planets, fleets patrolled trade routes, and signals buzzed with languages unknown. Orion's voice, calm and synthetic, filled the bridge. "Captain, we appear to have traversed a temporal spatial rift. Current stellar configurations do not match any known charts. Detecting multiple artificial structures. Recommendation: initiate first contact protocols." Before Reyes could respond, a Zorathian patrol cruiser materialized on sensors. The vessel was massive, its design sleek and predatory. Bristling with weapons that could vaporize the Defiance in a heartbeat, a transmission crackled through the comms. Translated by Orion's linguistics module, "Unidentified vessel, you have entered Zorathian space. Power down engines and prepare for boarding. Resistance will result in termination." Reyes exchanged glances with her XO, Marcus Hale, a burly veteran with a cybernetic arm. "Options?" she asked. Hale grinned. "Run? Fight? Or talk our way out?" "Talk first," Reyes decided. She opened a channel. "This is Captain Elena Reyes of the USS Defiance. We come in peace. We're explorers from a distant system. Requesting permission to." The response was immediate. A warning shot that grazed their shields, sending sparks flying. "Peace is irrelevant. Submit or perish." The crew tensed. Engineer Leela Voss, a young prodigy with a knack for improvisation, shouted from her station. "Captain, their weapons are locking on. Our shields won't hold." Reyes's mind raced. Humans had faced extinction events before, Asteroids, wars, pandemic sand survived through sheer tenacity. Evasive maneuvers. Orion jammed their sensors. As the Defiance twisted away, dodging plasma bolts, the crew sprang into action. They weren't soldiers by trade, but necessity forged them. Hale manned the guns. Voss rerouted power to engines, and Reyes piloted with a precision born of simulator drills. The Zorothian cruiser pursued, confident in its superiority, but humans had a trick up their sleeve: adaptability. Orion hacked into the enemy's comms, broadcasting a looped distress signal that mimicked Zorothian codes. The cruiser hesitated, its AI confused. In that moment, the Defiant struck a pinpoint railgun shot, pierced the cruiser's shield generator. Explosions rippled across the alien hull. Direct hit. Hale whooped. The cruiser retaliated, but too late. The Defiant slipped into a nearby asteroid field, using the rocks for cover. The Zorathians, unaccustomed to prey that fought back, called for reinforcements. Little did they know, this single skirmish was the spark that would ignite a galactic fire. Word spread through the Empire's networks. A known vessel had defied a patrol and escaped. Emperor Vexor dismissed it as a glitch, but unease stirred. On slave worlds, the tale grew. A ship that said no, the whispers went, and lived. Reyes and her crew, hiding in the shadows of a gas giant, assessed their situation. "We're in over our heads," Voss admitted, poring over scans. "This empire controls everything. Trillions of beings under their thumb." "Then we change that," Reyes said firmly. "Humans don't bow. We build, we fight, we win." Their first alliance came unexpectedly. A Felari scout ship, fleeing Zorathian hunters, stumbled upon the Defiance. The Felari captain, a sleek warrior named Sira, boarded cautiously. "You are the ones who defied the Empire," she said, her whiskers twitching. "My people have waited for a sign. It's over shared rations, human coffee, and Felari spice roots. They forged a pact." The Felari knew the Empire's weaknesses: over-reliance on central command, brittle supply lines, and a fear of the unknown. In return, the humans offered ingenuity. Voss modified Felari cloaks with human stealth tech, creating ghost ships that evaded detection. The rebellion began small. Hit-and-run raids on outposts, freeing slaves, stealing tech. The Defiance became a legend, the ship that said no. Grontar warriors joined, their strength bolstering boarding parties. Luminari provided energy weapons, their glow illuminating hidden bases. Emperor Vexor, enraged, deployed the Mind Reavers. On the planet of Corvex, a slave uprising was crushed, minds shattered. But the Defiance arrived. Orion's AI, countering the psychic assault with neural dampeners improvised from medical scanners. Reyes led the charge, her pistol barking as she freed captives. "We're not leaving anyone behind," she roared. The battle was fierce. Zorathian troops, bioengineered behemoths, clashed with human grit. Hale's cyber arm crushed armor. Voss's drones disrupted comms. Sira's claws rent flesh. In the end, Corvex fell to the rebels, its factories turned to forges of freedom. Vexor's throne room echoed with fury. Find this ship. Crush these insects. But the galaxy was stirring. More species flocked to the banner of the Defiance. The humans taught them not just to fight, but to innovate. Old Earth tactics, guerrilla warfare. Psychological ops bewildered the rigid Zorathians. As drew to a close, the rebellion swelled. The Defiance, once alone, now led a fleet of misfits. Reyes stood on the bridge, staring at the stars. "This is just the beginning," she said. "The Empire ruled. But not for long. The tide turns with Corvex liberated. The rebellion gained momentum. The USS Defiance, now augmented with alien tech Felari cloaks, Grontar armor plating, Luminari power cores, became a symbol of hope. Captain Reyes coordinated from a hidden asteroid base, her crew expanded by volunteers from across the stars. Marcus Hale trained new recruits in human combat styles, emphasizing improvisation over doctrine. Lila Voss's engineering bay buzzed with innovations: hybrid weapons that fused laser and plasma, drones that mimicked Zorothian signals to sow confusion, Emperor Vexor, sensing the threat, unleashed his elite fleet, the Shadow Legions. Led by Admiral Krozel, a scarred veteran with a cybernetic eye, they scorched rebel outposts. On the world of Felari, a verdant paradise turned labor camp, the legions descended. Rebels fought valiantly, but the Mind Reavers broke their lines. Turning allies against each other, the Defiance arrived mid-battle, Reyes piloting through orbital fire. "Orion, deploy the jammer," she ordered. The AI broadcasted a frequency that disrupted the Reaver's psilinx, causing backlash agony. Hale led boarding teams onto Krozel's flagship, the Annihilator. In zero-G corridors, humans and allies clashed with Zorathian elites. Syrah's Felari scouts flanked, Grontar smashed through bulkheads. Krozel confronted Hale personally. "You primitives dare challenge us?" The Admiral snarled, his blade humming with energy. Hale parried with his cyberarm. "Primitives, we're the ones winning." A brutal duel ensued, ending with Hale's improvised EMP grenade, disabling Krozel's augmentations. The Admiral fell, his fleet into Syrah. Victory at Felari broadcasted galaxy-wide. Species long dormant rose, the avian skyborne, masters of aerial combat, the aquatic deepers, who sabotaged underwater bases. The rebellion's network grew, using smuggled hyper-relays to coordinate strikes. Vexor, paranoid, fortified Zorath Prime. He activated the Apex weapon, a Starkiller device capable of novying systems. "If they will not submit, they shall burn," he decreed. Reyes learned of this from a defecting Zorothian scientist, Zorvex, who sought redemption. "The weapon draws power from the binary stars," Zorvex explained. "Disrupt the flow, and it fails." Daring plan formed. Infiltrate Zorath Prime. The Defiance, cloaked, slipped through patrols. On the surface, disguised as slaves, the team navigated spires and dungeons. Voss hacked security. Syrah scouted vents. Hale provided muscle. They reached the Apex chamber, guarded by Reavers. A psychic storm assaulted their minds, but human resilience bolstered by Luminari, shields held. Reyes faced Vexor himself. "Your rule ends here," she said. Vexor laughed. "One ship against an empire?" "One ship that said no," Reyes retorted, triggering the sabotage. The Apex overloaded, its energy backfiring. Chaos erupted. Rebel fleets converged, exploiting the distraction. Battles raged across sectors, dogfights in nebulae, ground wars on moons. As the Empire cracked, internal fractures appeared. Zorothian lords defected, seeing the writing on the stars. The Defiance, battered but unbowed, led the charge. Dawn of a new galaxy with the Apex weapon destroyed. Zorath Prime lay vulnerable. Emperor Vexor, cornered in his throne room, rallied his loyalists for a final stand. The rebellion's armada, now thousands strong, encircled the planet. The USS Defiance spearheaded the assault, its hull glowing with hybrid energies. Reyes broadcasted an ultimatum: surrender and live in peace. Resist and fall. Vexor's response was defiance. Planetary shields activated, orbital cannons fired. The battle for Zorath Prime was cataclysmic. Ships exploded in fireballs. Troops beamed down into melee. On the ground, Hale's teams breached the palace. Mind Reavers assaulted, but Orion's countermeasures evolved from captured tech neutralized them. Syrah's Felari assassins struck from shadows. Grontar charged front lines. Reyes confronted Vexor atop his throne. "Your empire built on fear crumbles," she said. Vexor lunged, his form augmented with forbidden tech. A fierce duel. Reyes's agility versus Vexor's power. She dodged energy blasts, countering with precise shots. Allies arrived, overwhelming the Emperor. Vexor fell, his last words, "Impossible." One ship. With the Emperor dead, the Empire shattered. Worlds celebrated, species reclaimed their destinies. The Defiance's crew, heroes all, helped forge a new alliance, the Galactic Concord. Based on equality, Reyes, reflecting on the bridge, smiled. "We said no end, The galaxy said yes. Humans, once wanderers, became legends. The stars, free at last.